This is Eyewitness News on LA56 with live breaking news.
Breaking news. Hello, I'm David Ona. What a mess on the 5 freeway in San Clemente. An overturned crane is causing a traffic nightmare, and Bill Thomas is live over the scene in Air 7 HD. Bill?
Yeah, there you can see it, David. Interstate 5 in southern Orange County is entirely shut down. This is a portion of the San Diego Freeway which connects northern San Diego County with southern Orange County, and traffic is just inching along coming up from the San Onofre Nuclear Power Plant, 2-3 miles per hour coming up from Basilone, past the San Clemente Pier, and up to this point. Here's where the accident happened about 3 this afternoon. The California Highway Patrol, they tell us the driver of this crane made contact with the center divider, North I-5 at Avenida Pico. The crane actually tipped over, a fuel spill as well. It's poorly lit up right now, but there is some light. You can see that crane on its side. They're telling us by 3:30 that this should be lifted up and removed from the freeway just in time for the morning rush hour, but as you can see, only the right shoulder is usable. Take a look at this backup once again. Folks coming up from San Diego, if you know someone heading this way, tell them to take the 15 northbound, the inland route over to Highway 74 from Elsinore. They can make their way into Orange County. That'll bring you into San Juan Capistrano, and you'll miss this tremendous closure and huge backup on Interstate 5. Reporting live from Air 7 HD over San Clemente, I'm Bill Thomas, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Wow, 3:30 a.m. That is a tough commute, and it's going to be so for a long time. All right, Bill, thank you for the update. And we have more breaking news. 2 young boys have been found in Long Beach, and police are searching for their parents or guardians. A passerby saw the 2 children wandering alone at Atlantic Avenue and 60th Street. The boys appear to be between 1 and 2 years of age. Both are African American. The older child was found wearing a T-shirt, shorts, and sandals. The younger boy was found wearing a T-shirt and diaper. Police say no one in the area saw the boys being dropped off, and no one recognizes them. Anyone with information about the children or their parents is urged to call Long Beach Police at 562-435-6711. A vigil is underway tonight for the Pomona SWAT officer who was shot and killed while serving a warrant. Eyewitness News reporter Amy Powell is live in Pomona, where there's been an outpouring of support. Amy?
David, a very touching vigil here tonight. Members of the Pomona Police Department, residents of the community, gathered here outside the police department in a show of solidarity and to express their grief about the loss of a highly respected member of this police force. Now, the prayer vigil included several religious leaders who offered prayers as members of the crowd clutched candles and bowed their heads in memory of Officer Sean Diamond. The 45-year-old SWAT officer, a veteran with 19 years of law enforcement experience, was gunned down early Tuesday morning in San Gabriel. Officer Diamond was part of a team serving a search warrant at a home in San Gabriel. He was helping to open the outer door of the home when a suspected gang member fired the fatal shot. Fellow Pomona officers attended tonight's vigil, joined by officers from the San Gabriel Police Department and other agencies. Officers who were taking part in the operation when Diamond was shot say they wanted to let the community know how grateful they are for his bravery.
We want the people of Pomona to know the kind of sacrifice that he gave, not just for them, but to even go to another city to help us out and to do something that was for the betterment of our community and the people that live in San Gabriel. And we want people in San Gabriel and everywhere to know that this is the kind of thing that these guys do.
The alleged killer, 36-year-old David Martinez, made his first court appearance today wearing a yellow jumpsuit, which indicates he's undergoing a mental health examination. Martinez, a suspected member of the Mongols motorcycle gang, was ordered to remain in jail without bail while awaiting arraignment. He has been charged with murder, including a special circumstance allegation of murder of a police officer. And as we come back out here live, his attorney did not enter a plea today. He says a plea will be entered in 2 weeks after he's had a chance to review the evidence in this case. Reporting live in Pomona, Amy Powell, ABC7 Eyewitness.
Amy, thank you. A suspected cop killer has been captured in Pennsylvania. State police say they captured Eric Freen in an abandoned airport hangar at the Pocono Mountain Municipal Airport. The 31-year-old has been charged with killing a state trooper and seriously injuring another in an ambush on September 12th, triggering a 7-week manhunt. After the shooting, police say he escaped into the woods and managed to survive on his own undetected until now. And we'll have much more on this story coming up at 8:30. The Camarillo man accused of slamming into a Ventura County Sheriff's deputy and killing him has been charged with murder. 25-year-old Kevin Hogrieve faced a judge for the first time today. The charge was upgraded from vehicular manslaughter to murder. Hogrieve pled not guilty. Meantime, family, friends, and fellow law enforcement officers continue to show support for fallen Ventura County Sheriff Deputy Eugene Kostenchenko.
We've been with them, with the family since day one, and we will continue to be with them. They're still our family members, and the outpouring of support from the community has been wonderful.
Prosecutors say Hogrieve struck and killed Kostenchenko with his car early Tuesday morning while knowing he was under the influence of alcohol. Prosecutors say they have discretion to seek the maximum penalty in this case. And a 24-year-old suspect is behind bars for an alleged crime spree that included robbery, carjacking, kidnapping, and a police pursuit. It was brought to an unexpected end by an empty gas tank. The series of crimes began at a park in Boyle Heights and ended 50 miles away in Bloomington. Eyewitness News reporter Mark Cota-Robles has the story.
Crime tape surrounds the public restrooms at Hollenbeck Park in Boyle Heights. It was the starting point for an early morning robbery, kidnapping, and carjacking case that spanned some 50 miles. According to LAPD, two couples were at the park around 1 a.m. The first couple was held at gunpoint, robbed, and was forced into their car by the male suspect.
He drove around with that one couple in the neighborhood. He then directed them to a 7-Eleven at 4th and Cummings, at which point he asked them to telephonically contact the second couple, which they did.
According to police, that second couple showed up thinking they were meeting up with their friends. Instead, they too were robbed, at which point the suspect forced a lone female victim to drive the car, leaving the other three friends behind. What happened next was actually great timing. A phone call came in while the friends were standing with police.
Our understanding is that the victim that was with the suspect telephoned the other female victim. At that point, she related the message that the suspect was demanding a certain amount of money for her release.
Police got the cell phone location, spotted the car, and a pursuit began, headed eastbound on the 10 freeway into Fontana. It ended when the car reportedly ran out of gas. The suspect arrested, the victim rescued, and reunited with her friends.
Obviously, they were afraid. I momentarily met them, and I could tell that they're still shaken up by the whole incident.
Reporting from Boyle Heights, I'm Mark Cota-Robles, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
In the meantime, police confirmed the suspect was seen throwing items from that car during the pursuit, but the weapon that he allegedly had has not been recovered. The 24-year-old suspect could now face charges of robbery, carjacking, and kidnapping. Well, have you heard yet? It could rain on Halloween tomorrow night. Let's check in with Jonathan Novak.
Yeah, looks like the chance is there, David. Let's start off with that live Megadoppler 7000 HD to show you it is dry right now, but the rain showing up on the radar scope. Well, to the north, this is the rain that's going to be moving our way as we go in through tomorrow. Right now, clouds have moved in ahead of this frontal system. It's 46 at Big Bear, where we are also expecting some snow. Details on that to come. Day planner for tomorrow. Let me get you through Halloween. 63 to start, maybe a little bit of patchy drizzle around the area. Cool and cloudy in the afternoon, and then by 9 p.m., some light rain is possible around Southern California, with heavier rain still to come. I will tell you how much rain we can get and when the heaviest falls, but it looks like you'll at least need the umbrella by 9 p.m. tomorrow night, folks, and have the jacket handy as well with temperatures dropping a lot. We'll have details in that 7-day forecast for the rest of the weekend coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Investigators are trying to get to the bottom of what brought down a plane in Kansas. That plane slamming into a building at the Wichita airport, sparking a massive fire, killing 4 people. ABC's Ryan Smith has the story.
The roof where the plane hit burned for hours, sending out thick black smoke that could be seen for miles.
I've seen an airplane with its left tail wing straight down, banking really hard, really loud, and it just slammed right into the top of the building.
About 100 people were inside at the time, some trapped by a fire authorities called horrific. The pilot and 3 people inside the building were killed. Another 5 were rushed to the hospital, some with serious injuries. The plane had no passengers when it took off shortly before 10 a.m. The pilot of the Beach King Air 200 quickly issuing a mayday.
Tower just declared an emergency. We just lost the lieutenant. Runway 1 right. Clear to land.
But moments later, he lost control, veering left, slamming into the top of the Flight Safety International building, which houses advanced flight simulators and is owned by investor Warren Buffett.
And Stage 31, we just lost an aircraft.
We just heard a loud rumble. The building shook.
Then we saw the exhaust plume while the fuselage was on top of the roof on fire.
Crime scene investigators are still on the scene. Debris all over the grounds, cars burnt out, windows pushed in, and the crash site, the building itself, partially collapsed. Tonight, the Air Traffic Controllers Association says Mark Goldstein, a distinguished controller who only retired last year, died in the accident. Aviation sources telling ABC News that he was the pilot.
Again, that was ABC's Ryan Smith reporting. And here at home, we now know the name of the pilot of a military jet who crashed in a field near a Ventura County Naval Air Station. 45-year-old Charles Rogers died when his Mk-58 Hawker Hunter crashed during a military training exercise. He was the only person on board. Rogers was a retired fighter pilot working for a company that provides tactical training to the U.S. military. He had just finished playing the role of an enemy aircraft and was preparing to land when the accident happened. The NTSB is investigating. The battle over Ebola quarantines is heating up. Nurse Casey Hickox, who recently returned from West Africa, still refuses to obey a state quarantine order, and this morning she went on a bike ride.
This is something my partner and I like to do. Since we've moved here, this has been our trail.
Are you afraid with the state police around?
I'm not afraid.
Hickox has tested negative for the virus twice, but the governor of Maine is frustrated by her lack of cooperation and is now threatening legal action to enforce a quarantine. In the meantime, Dulles International Airport is showing off its new Ebola screening room. Travelers arriving from West Africa will be checked in a private room. Screeners will wear full protective gear. And coming up at 8:30, you'll hear from a California doctor who put himself in voluntary quarantine after treating Ebola patients in Liberia. You've probably seen the startling video, a swarm of bikers harassing a CHP motorcycle officer on a freeway. Tonight, news of an arrest in this case. Plus this.
If I give you $100, you can give me shut off. No.
A Dallas Cowboys player arrested for allegedly shoplifting underwear speaks out in court, and it was no apology. And a California woman with cancer made a decision to end her own life, but now she's had a change of heart. The CHP says it has now arrested the motorcycle rider seen on video taunting an officer. Take a look at this. We showed you the bikers performing stunts on Interstate 680 up in Northern California. They refused to pull over for a lone CHP officer who eventually left the scene after being waved off by one of the riders. Tips from the public apparently helped authorities find that rider, and then he's now facing multiple charges. We're getting a look at video of a pro football player being booked on shoplifting charges, and he appears to be anything but remorseful.
If I give you $100, you can give me some.
No.
Hey, what's the name of this place? Frisco City Jail. Frisco City Jail.
That's Dallas Cowboys running back Joseph Randle cracking jokes, acting nonchalant. He was arrested earlier this month on suspicion of shoplifting cologne and underwear from a Texas mall.
Hey, is this going to get in the news, you think? How come y'all had to hide away on this? This is not a damn trading card.
At one point, he also asked, quote, "How's my mugshot going to look?" Randall was fined 1 game's pay by the Dallas Cowboys for getting arrested, but he reportedly made all that money back after signing an endorsement deal with a Los Angeles company that makes underwear. An Australian surfer is telling the story of how he fought off a shark. The 20-year-old says the shark attacked when he stepped on its head.
Had it in my hands here trying to stop it from biting again, like hitting it a bit, and then it eventually swam away.
And chicks dig scars, so come on.
Hunt isn't sure what kind of shark it was or how big, but his friends teased him that it gets a little bit bigger each time he tells the story. I mean, seriously, how big could it be if he stepped on its head? All right, bigger things to deal with right now, and that is the weather, because Halloween is tomorrow and there might be rain. Hey, Jonathan.
Yeah, looks, David, like we do have some rain potentially for trick-or-treaters for you guys tomorrow, heading out there tomorrow night. In the meantime, clouds rolled in ahead of this frontal system. We'll be talking about Long Beach. Beautiful time-lapse here as the sun set, or some of those mid and high-level clouds. And the rain still to come. It's up to the north of us right now, heading toward northwestern portions of California. And it looks like we could have some drizzle in the morning as the moisture approaches. Right now, though, we are dry here in Southern California. That live Mega Doppler 7000 HD showing a dry picture. Burbank, it is 69 and cloudy right now. Pretty much everybody seeing mostly cloudy to cloudy skies. Overcast at LAX, we're at 68 degrees. Humidity is notched up to 84%. Here it is. This is the cold front, cold air behind it. That's one of the things that's going to be a big change for tomorrow and Saturday, plus the rain and potentially, looks like maybe even 1 or 2 inches of snow by Saturday morning in Big Bear. Here are the details. And the future rainfall starts you off Friday morning at 10:30. Low cloud cover is going to be in place big time tomorrow when you wake up, and with it, some drizzle. So expect that potentially patchy drizzle here and there as we go through Friday morning. The afternoon's cloudy, and then I'll bring it through 9 p.m. That's when we start seeing the readings showing up here on this high-resolution model for the rainfall. Just some light shower activity possible at 9 p.m. and really up to the northern counties. Then, overnight, this is midnight, the bulk of the rain really moves through. There's a bullseye right over Ojai. That moves through over L.A. 4 a.m. Saturday. By mid to late morning Saturday, it's in the southeastern counties around Riverside and moving out, clearing out, and it looks like still cloudy by Saturday afternoon. Maybe a lingering shower up to the north with some of the lingering moisture, and overall, this is what we're looking for when it's said and done. About 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain from Santa Clarita over to Burbank and Ontario, actually around Palmdale, maybe 1/10 of an inch. We have a slight chance actually in the high desert, believe it or not. And then 1 inch or 2 of snow in Big Bear by the mid to late morning time on Saturday as those freezing levels drop overnight. So expect a little rain tomorrow, not a ton. It's going to be overnight that we see the bulk of it, but nevertheless, I would keep that umbrella handy. Drizzle at 5 p.m. and then light rain showers around 9 p.m. and then the real rain by midnight. So the highs also dropping along with it all. 70 degrees in Los Angeles, 73 Anaheim, the 70 forecast for LA Metro and Orange County. Powered up by AccuWeather, 2 days here where we're looking for clouds and much cooler weather and rain in LA. 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain, and then things dry up and start warming up from Monday on. Valleys, IE, 71 tomorrow, 66 on Saturday, and a shot of some showers late Friday through Saturday. 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch as well for you in the valleys. And the IE and the mountains, we're looking for potentially a couple inches of snow accumulating above 7,000 feet. A little less than that, around 6,000 feet, where we still will see some snow. Just don't know how much is going to accumulate from 6 to 7K. Look at the temperatures, though. 19 in the morning on Saturday, 40 for a high in the mountains. A cold weekend, and then the high desert even has a chance of some showers late tomorrow in through Saturday morning with temperatures dropping into the 50s. We'll have the latest on this forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to the desk, David.
All right, Jonathan, thank you.
You're welcome.
The California woman with cancer whose decision to end her own life gained so much attention, but now it appears Brittany Maynard has chosen to keep living a while longer. Eyewitness News Health Specialist Denise Tador has more on Maynard's decision.
And if November 2nd comes along and I'm still alive, I know that we'll just still be moving forward as a family, like, out of love for each other, and that decision will come later.
As 29-year-old Brittany Maynard announced her decision to postpone ending her life, supporters of the Right to Die movement gathered on the steps of LA City Hall to share the terminally ill woman's message. The group, Compassion and Choices, is working with Maynard and says death with dignity should not be called assisted suicide.
She's not suicidal. She loves life. And precisely because she loves life, she wants to die with dignity.
Earlier this year, the Northern California resident was diagnosed with brain cancer and given 6 months or less to live. Maynard moved with her husband to Portland, Oregon to access the state's Death with Dignity Act. Her story exploded on the internet and social media after she scheduled this Saturday, November 1st, as the day she would take her prescribed life-ending medication. On her bucket list, a trip to the Grand Canyon, which she recently completed. But as her chosen date approached, she's decided to wait.
I still feel good enough, and I still have enough joy, and I still laugh and smile with my family and friends enough that it doesn't seem like the right time.
Besides spending her remaining days with her husband, parents, and pets, she's working with Compassion and Choices to bring aid in dying legislation to California. Anita Freeman of Long Beach is among many who signed a petition. She described the pain and horror of watching her terminally ill sister die.
No one should have to live the torture that my sister suffered the last few weeks of her life.
Oregon is one of 5 states with death with dignity laws. The laws are controversial. The LA Archdiocese wouldn't comment on camera, but referred to its website on the subject, which says, quote, "The only time it's permissible to directly take another human life is for reason of self-defense. Certainly killing an ill patient either through assisted suicide or euthanasia cannot be called self-defense." Maynard calls her choice a matter of compassion.
My goal, of course, is to influence this policy for positive change, and I would like to see all Americans have access to the same health care rights.
Brittany says the most important thing to her is to make sure that her family and friends know how much she loves them. She hasn't announced a new date for ending her life, but she says the headaches and the seizures worsen every day. In the newsroom, Denise Dodor, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Much more news still to come, including gas for $2.99 a gallon, where it was being sold today, and why prices could go even lower up next. Plus, is it a bogus claim about baby formula? The accusations against the baby food maker, and a California doctor in quarantine after treating Ebola patients in Liberia. He speaks out to Eyewitness News. Federal regulators have announced they are suing the Gerber baby food company. The dispute is over Gerber's Good Start Gentle formula. Gerber's website says the formula can prevent or reduce allergies in children. The Federal Trade Commission says Gerber is misleading customers. The FTC wants Gerber to pull the claim from ads and labels, and the New Jersey-based company was quick to respond. Gerber defends its position. Gerber says it believes it has met all legal requirements about product claims. Great news for drivers. Gas prices on average are at the lowest they've been in years. Some areas are even seeing prices under $3 a gallon. We found a gas station selling regular unleaded for $2.99 at Berry Brothers in Anaheim today. According to AAA, the state's average is $3.35 a gallon. They say the drop is thanks to an abundance of supply and a decrease in demand. And the even better news, these prices are expected to last through the end of the year and could even get cheaper. We are updating the evening's top stories next at 8:30, including a cop killer in custody after a weeks-long search, how officers finally tracked him down, and the search for a thief stealing mail from local condos. Will new surveillance video lead to an arrest?
Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 8:30 p.m. on LA56.
In our top story at 8:30, a mess on the 5 freeway in San Clemente where an overturned crane is causing a traffic nightmare. I'm David Ono. This is Eyewitness News at 8:30 on LA56. The CHP says the truck driving on the northbound side of the freeway crashed into a center divider. It fell over, sending concrete flying and spilling fuel across the interstate around 3 this afternoon. Northbound lanes are expected to be closed until around 3:30 a.m. Traffic is being allowed to pass in the shoulder right now, but it is a big mess and slow going. 2 young boys have been found in Long Beach, and police are searching for their parents or guardians. A passerby saw the 2 children wandering alone at Atlantic Avenue and 60th Street. Police say no one in the area saw the boys being dropped off. No one recognizes them. Anyone with information about the children or their parents is urged to call 911. A 7-week manhunt for an alleged cop killer has come to an end in Pennsylvania. Officials say Eric Freen surrendered to U.S. Marshals after they spotted him during a sweep. Officials say Freen was then put in the handcuffs of the Pennsylvania state trooper he's accused of killing. ABC's Emmett Miller has the latest developments.
The arm of the law has finally caught up with Eric Freen. He was captured at an abandoned aircraft hangar by U.S. Marshals. Freen surrendered without firing a shot. The 31-year-old survivalist had been hiding out in eastern Pennsylvania's densely wooded forest since September 12th, when police say he fired at a state police barracks, fatally shooting Trooper Brian Dixon and seriously wounding Trooper Alex Douglas.
This attack was an ambush.
Hundreds of law enforcement officers descended on the area, deploying heavily armed search parties and throwing up roadblocks in a massive manhunt.
I've said in the past, we will get him. It is simply a matter of time.
But Freen's military training served him well. Though his picture was on most wanted posters across the country, the man himself was as elusive as a ghost. Though he was occasionally glimpsed through the thick foliage, Freen slipped through the fingers of his pursuers for 7 weeks. Freen was armed and considered extremely dangerous. His unseen presence created a climate of fear through local communities, disrupting local routines and causing school closures. But tonight, Eric Freen's luck ran out, and law enforcement finally ran down their fugitive. Emmett Miller, ABC News.
Nearly 1 year after the fatal shooting of a TSA officer at LAX, members of the Airport Police Union say little has been done to boost airport security. TSA agent Gerardo Hernandez was killed. Several others were wounded when a gunman opened fire at the airport last year. Now the union that represents the airport's police officers says the airport authority has done nothing to prevent a repeat of that incident. Meantime, the airport police chief has a different take.
It's not just what we want to have done, it's what all the experts are recommending that hasn't been done.
Are we better today than we were last year? Yes, we are.
Today, Mayor Eric Garcetti released a statement on airport security saying in part, quote, LAX is a safe airport and it is safer today after implementing security improvements recommended in the November 1st After Action report. The Grinch has come early. Police are looking for the crook who stole thousands of dollars worth of Christmas ornaments. It happened in Aptos, up in Northern California. Someone broke into a cargo container outside a mom-and-pop store and swiped more than 2,000 ornaments. They're valued at $37,000. The shop owners say it's an obvious blow, but more ornaments are arriving daily, and they hope to be restocked in time for Christmas. The search is on for a mail thief at Toluca Lake. Several mailboxes in condo buildings in the 10,600 block of Woodbridge Street were hit this morning. As Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia explains, investigators are reviewing security video for a possible suspect.
Hours after they were broken into, the mailboxes at this Toluca Lake condominium complex remain open. There's no way to close it up until an investigator from the U.S. Postal Inspection Service checks it out. Residents say whoever did this either had someone buzz them into the building or had the access code to get in.
Pretty concerning. I mean, you've got people that are getting debit cards, credit cards, personal items in the mail.
Barber and his neighbors say they suspect the person who did this had a master key that only U.S. Postal Service mail carriers use because the mailbox wasn't forced open. Investigators are reviewing security video and stills taken from cameras pointed at the front door of the building to see if there's anyone they deem a person of interest or a suspect.
It's a violation of our privacy. This person now has the ability to ID theft.
But this isn't the only condo complex involved. Mailboxes at the complex across the street were also hit.
I think the best thing you can do is check your mail every day so that you don't leave anything in there overnight. And we just notified everybody of what happened so that they could be vigilant. I don't think there's much more you can do than that.
Sid Garcia, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
The Postal Service has a hotline. If you have any information on what happened, that number is 877-876-2455. The Postal Service says it's especially important to be vigilant with your mail during the holiday season. For the first time, we are hearing from the Stanford University doctor who just got back from treating Ebola patients in Africa and is now under quarantine. Dr. Colin Bucks has no symptoms, but he is considered at risk, having spent a month among Ebola patients in Liberia. He is allowed limited outdoor activities, such as jogging alone, but otherwise he is confined to his Northern California home for the 21-day waiting period to make sure he's not contagious. He spoke to reporters today via Skype and said he believes more American medical personnel need to go to Africa to fight Ebola.
I don't want Ebola to come to the U.S. I don't want it to be in California. And the way that's going to happen is if we're striking right at the heart of the beast, so to speak.
Buck's family has had to move out of the house. He says he already knows what he'll do when his confinement ends November 14th. He's going to hug and kiss his wife. While Halloween is supposed to be fun, ER doctors say unfortunately sometimes kids end up in the emergency room with injuries related to trick-or-treating. And one of the most common injuries they see the ER are for falls. So, for example, if your little ninja carries a sword or other prop, make sure that they can handle that as well as their goodie bag so they don't stumble. Many other trip and falls are costume related.
You want to make sure that their costumes fit appropriately, that their masks don't obscure their vision, that the costumes don't drag on the ground, which could cause them to trip. And of course, kids are excited. They're going to run from place to place, and oftentimes they will trip and fall.
And make sure it's easy for your child to be seen by cars. Have them carry a flashlight or put reflective material on their costume. Don't forget about making your house safer, too. Be sure you remove any cords so there's a clear path to your door. And use a glow stick or battery-powered candle to light your pumpkin so there's no open flame. Director Roman Polanski questioned by prosecutors in Poland. Up next, what they're saying about possible extraditing him back to the U.S. What's this story?
I feel like almost everyone's complicit in the creation of a guy like this.
Jake Gyllenhaal's thoughts on his new film about the TV news biz, the star of Nightcrawler.
Jonathan Novak here. Beautiful sunsets today with the clouds that came in. That means rain's in the forecast, also snow and much colder weather for Halloween. Details coming up in your 7 days. Stick around.
Filmmaker Roman Polanski has been questioned by Polish prosecutors at the request of the United States. The director of films like Chinatown and The Pianist is in Krakow for the opening of a museum. Here in Los Angeles, officials are still seeking his extradition on a decades-old conviction of unlawful sex with a minor. Polish prosecutors say the United States asked them to arrest Polanski, but they say he is free to travel in Poland as he likes. Polanski pleaded guilty to unlawful intercourse in 1978, but fled the U.S. before sentencing. It appears the copyright dispute over the hit song Blurred Lines will go to trial. A federal judge ruled today that there is a genuine dispute about whether the smash hit by Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams copied elements of another song recorded by Marvin Gaye. The judge says a trial is needed to settle a more than year-long legal battle between Thicke and Pharrell and Marvin Gaye's family. In theaters this weekend, we'll find the latest from actor Jake Gyllenhaal. He's been on the big screen since he was 11 years old, and in his new movie, Nightcrawler, he plays a lost soul willing to do anything and everything to succeed. Our entertainment guru, George Pinocchio, takes a closer look.
I'm starting a TV news business.
You, get back!
In Nightcrawler, Jake Gyllenhaal stars as an enterprising young man who stumbles upon the underground world of freelance journalism in L.A. The actor first learned about this overnight world of videographers, known as stringers, while shadowing some LAPD officers for another film, End of Watch.
I'd go to crime scenes with officers, and there'd be stringers there too, you know. So I have this sort of strange 180-degree point of view of that world on either side of it. So all that together was some of my research, but that was just the beginning, really.
I will never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself.
His character pushes many boundaries as far as ethics are concerned, but Jake does not see his character as the movie's villain. He puts that title on Rene Russo's character, an overly ambitious newsroom boss.
Because she enables Lou to do what he does. She buys his footage and then she cuts it together and makes the story, and manipulates it.
I also want to go to the next rung and meet your team.
Jake went through quite a physical transformation for this film, dropping 30 pounds. He says he and director Dan Gilroy had an unusual inspiration for the role.
He thought he's a coyote, you know. That's who he is. He's sort of a ruthless and hungry and wild. And then I just started like looking at images and seeing them all as they were all very thin, and I just thought, you know, this guy has to be sort of thin and hungry and starving in a way and wanting to succeed and would tear throats out, you know, to get there.
George Pinocchio, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Well, drizzle slow your morning commute. Meteorologist Jonathan Novak has his complete forecast coming up next. Plus, LeBron James is back with the Cavaliers, but did the Knicks spoil his return home? Highlights coming up in sports. And amid our drought, a private lake that's full of water. When Eyewitness News returns. Good news this weekend, we will all get an extra hour of sleep thanks to daylight savings time. And as you set your clock back an hour Saturday night, it's also a good time to check your fire alarms. The LA Fire Department says they have had 20 structure fire-related fatalities this year. In 14 of those cases, there were no working smoke alarms. So take a moment to test your alarms and replace the batteries if needed. And if you don't have any alarms, the LA Fire Department is making them available at your local fire station. So let's talk about our weather. Tomorrow is Halloween. Kids will be out trick-or-treating, and there is a chance of rain. And here's Jonathan Novak.
Chance of rain. Looks like we could see a few showers when you guys are out and about trick-or-treating tomorrow. Thankfully, it looks like the bulk of it will wait till you're back inside and asleep. That's how the timing seems right now. The rain is up to the north of us at Live Meganopolis 7000 HD, showing shower activity already in Northern California. That's the same system that's coming our way. Highs today, man, it was nice. It was 81 in downtown. Normally we're at 77. Right now we're at 66, and you see the clouds over my shoulder there. It is a cloudy night. Long Beach at 68. And other temperatures around the area are on the coolish side. We've got 69 in Burbank and 67 in Riverside, with still Palm Springs hanging on to 82 degrees tonight. But the clouds have rolled in. And tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up to some drizzle and cloudy skies, cool weather. Temperatures are going to be hard to warm up tomorrow as we see this front move through Southern California. The rain, it looks like, will start showing up late evening, or I should say maybe early evening with a light shower, but really late evening in terms of any light rainfall. It'll be drizzle before that. Let me show you here in the future rainfall forecast exactly with the timing, and that'll put it all together for you. Friday afternoon, we're still dry, just some drizzle and some cloud cover. Friday, right around 10, 11 p.m., we start seeing the light rain move into the northern counties, and then a little bit heavier as it moves through overnight into Saturday morning. So the bulk of the rain is going to happen overnight. Until then, just some drizzle and light rain possibly. Nothing I think that will really wash out your Halloween, but I would still keep the umbrella handy. Potentially quarter to a half inch of rain in the Los Angeles area and Ventura County and even Orange County through Saturday, and 1 inch to 2 inches of snow possible around Big Bear by Saturday, with freezing levels dropping to about 6,000 feet. So Halloween night, we're dropping to 57 degrees, drizzle at 5 p.m., but the heaviest rain, once again, I want to emphasize, is overnight. So just keep that in mind. It will be a little damp, but it won't be really wet until we hit midnight. So 70 for a high tomorrow in L.A. is extremely cool. That is way cooler than normal and much cooler than you've been used to. And then 67 on Saturday, forget about it. It's just going to be a really cool weekend overall. I might even call it cold. And that chance of rain is in there for late tomorrow through Saturday morning. Sunday looks great, and then we warm up to 80 degrees by Tuesday. 70 forecast for the valleys, i.e. looks like this. A similar day tomorrow and Saturday. 71 for a high, 66 for a high on Saturday, with clouds and rain overnight Friday to Saturday, and then mostly sunny on Sunday, warming up to 80 by Tuesday afternoon. The mountains, some snow showers possible overnight Friday to Saturday. Snow level, freezing level 6,000 feet. High of only 40 degrees on Saturday, and 1 inch to 2 inches of snow in the higher elevations. And then here you go, high desert. Your temperatures, 58 for a high on Saturday, 30% chance of an isolated shower there Friday night into Saturday morning. So guys, keep your umbrellas around. I don't think it's going to be super wet until overnight tomorrow, but nevertheless, maybe some drizzle potentially as you're out trick-or-treating.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan. We need the rain, but not on the kids. LeBron James broke the heart of his hometown fans when his decision was to move to Miami, but after 4 years and 2 championships in South Beach, the kid from Akron returns back to where it all started in hopes of not just lifting a title, but a whole city. The return of the King to Cleveland as LeBron James and the Cavaliers open their season against the Knicks. James, perhaps a bit nervous in his first game back. He made just 1 of his first 7 shots. He only made 5 of 15 for the game, finishing with 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 8 turnovers. New York trailed by 2 at the half and then took over in the third quarter. Carmelo Anthony steps home 2 of his 25 points for a 7-point lead. Late in the game, Knicks up 3. J.R. Smith's runner of the lane ices the game, and Derek Fisher, he gets his first win as a head coach, spoiling LeBron James' return home. College football now, Louisville giving Florida State all they could handle. The Cardinals found the end zone the first 3 times they touched the ball. Will Gardner finds Gerald Christian for the 11-yard score and a 21-0 lead. But James Winston, despite 3 interceptions, led his team back, outscoring Louisville 21-7 in the fourth quarter. Winston with 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, 42-31 the final. Seminoles' title hopes remain alive. On the ice now, the Kings in the Steel City to take on the Penguins. Pittsburgh gets on the board first on the power play. Chris Kunitz, his wrist shot finds the back of the net. The first of 2 goals for Kunitz on the night. The Kings outshot the Penguins 36-23, but Marc-Andre Fleury turned away every shot he faced for the shutout. LA dropped its second straight game, 3-0 the final. The Ducks in St. Louis are feeling the blues. Before the seat can get warm, the home team gets on board. Less than 5 minutes into the game, Alexander Steen lights the lamp for a 1-0 lead, and then just 2 minutes into the third period, St. Louis doubles their lead. Ryan Reeves makes it a 2-0 game. The Blues blank the Ducks for their third straight win. Other news now, Lake Mission Viejo is under scrutiny tonight. The local water district is working with the Lake Association to figure out ways to save water. And Eyewitness News Orange County Bureau Chief Eileen Frere has more on this controversy.
Lake Mission Viejo, surrounded by multi-million-dollar homes.
It's the center point of Mission Viejo. We, count on the lake for our recreation.
Created in the late 1970s simply for recreation. 80,000 people, more than 24,000 homes use the man-made private lake. Association members pay more than $200 a year for access.
It's peaceful, it's nice. I mean, you can't really find too many places like this around here.
But the lake loses about 88 million gallons of drinkable water a year to evaporation, the 9th largest water user in the Santa Margarita Water District. In the midst of a drought, there is concern.
We've been reaching out to everybody. People have been working back and forth to try to figure out how to move down the water use.
The Lake Mission Viejo Association says bylaws require it to maintain fishing in the lake and swimming, so it's looking at other options to keep the lake filled but still conserve water.
We're looking at landscaping conversion. We're looking to convert a lot of our turf grass areas to drought-tolerant plants.
The Water District says the association is also considering offsetting the amount of water it uses in the lake by paying to convert projects elsewhere to recycled water.
It's made us look at a variety of ideas and be very creative. Our goal is to keep water in the lake so that our members can continue to enjoy the lake.
It's maybe too much water spent on it, but if we all try to save the water in other ways, then maybe we'll be okay.
In Mission Viejo, Eileen Frere, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
And more news straight ahead here at 8:30 and ahead tonight at Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7. An investigation is underway into why a fireworks factory went up in flames. Plus, Oscar-winning actress Anne Hathaway takes off in her new film, Interstellar. What she says about her high-flying adventure. These stories and all the late breaking news on Southern California's #1 late newscast, Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7. Halloween is just days away, and organizers in West Hollywood are preparing for tomorrow's festivities, estimating 500,000 people to show up. Several street closures will be in effect, including Santa Monica Boulevard from Doheny to Croft Avenue. Officials are urging people to use public transportation, but if you do drive, the city is waiving parking restrictions from 11 a.m. Friday to 6 a.m. Saturday, although parking meters will still be enforced. Hello Kitty fans flocked to downtown LA today for the first ever Hello Kitty convention. Fans can find everything Hello Kitty at the Museum of Contemporary Art, and we sent Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes to get a first-hand look at the fan frenzy.
Take a trip to Little Tokyo over the next few days, and you won't just find lines, you'll find felines.
Kitty, kitty, kitty.
That's because LA is saying hello to
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty Con, the first ever official Hello Kitty fan convention in the world.
It may be hard to believe, but this iconic cartoon is 40 years old. She was created in Japan back in 1974, appearing on a small vinyl coin purse that has definitely grown over the years.
From that little vinyl coin purse spawned an $8 billion marketing phenomenon.
It also spawned fervent fans, countless people with way too much kiddiness.
Hi, I'm Kristen Sparkles.
They are everywhere at Hello Kitty Con, checking out all the Hello Kitty stores, playing all the Hello Kitty games, and snapping photos at every opportunity. Thousands of people, both young and not so young.
I'm 45. I'm 65.
But what's even funnier is that they came all the way from Texas for this, which sounds far, but really isn't.
We have people coming from all over the world, from Asia, the Philippines, Europe, and of course all over the United States.
And Hello Kitty Con is all about getting that Hello Kitty look, from jewelry to dresses and makeup, and even something a little bit more permanent.
Hello Kitty tattoos?
Yep. Cat tats.
I love Hello Kitty. I love tattoos. And what better than a free Hello Kitty tattoo?
Mackenzie Flores is looking to add even more Hello Kitty ink to her collection.
I think I have like 20. This was my first one. This is my husband's name. And then I got the nerd one. So I've been working on it for 8 years.
There's also Hello Kitty candy. And for those with heartier appetites, Spam.
Oh, it's special Spam. It's Hello Kitty Spam.
The one thing you'll have a harder time finding around KittyCon is guys. You don't look like the typical Hello Kitty fan.
No, I'm not, but the men's restroom, line free. That's great.
Hello KittyCon runs through Sunday, but if you haven't snagged a ticket, get ready to say goodbye, Kitty. The convention is all sold out. In Little Tokyo, Rob Hayes, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
But you can see the exhibit at Japanese-American National Museum of Hello Kitty. That'll be there for a few weeks. And if you're a Dodgers fan, they hand them out every year, and I got mine. Pretty cute, huh? It's a popular night when they hand these out. Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 8:30 on LA56. Law and Order SVU is next on LA56. And Eyewitness continues at 11 p.m. on ABC7. Have a great night, everyone.